Hello, everyone. This is Valentina Arada, your project management course instructor. I hope you had a great week. I hope you had a fun weekend. First of all, great job on your weekly discussion posts. Very impressive, your discussions. Great job on your CAPM exam. Pretty good. Most of you did pretty good. So I'm not going to make any adjustments yet to this course. Just one observation for those of you who haven't submitted the results, just press save and submit. And those, just very few that didn't take the test, please do so as soon as possible. For this week discussion, what I would like to kind of walk you through is the upcoming assignments. Some of you reach out to me and there is some confusion, so I'm trying to make things simple for you and do not overall complicate everything. I know it's overwhelming with the exam and with all the discussions, so I will try to make as clear as possible what are the upcoming assignments and what are the expectations. So first of all, for this week, you have what's called a final project outline. So what's expected here, what I'm expecting is a skeleton of your final project. Think in terms of developing a project charter, for instance, or developing a project management plan. So in other words, this week, have a high level scope of your project, what your project is going to be about. Identify the stakeholders. Who are going to be the people that are going to be involved or impacted by the project? And then kind of talk very high level how you're going to approach the budget. What is the budget of your project and how you're going to monitor it? Similar thing with your schedule. Do you have any constraints about the schedule in that way? Do you have a strict deadline for this project that you cannot go above it? Talk about risks, how you are going to identify and mitigate risks. Talk about procurement. So be very high level, but make sure you cover most of this areas. So this is what's expected for you for the outline. Remember, it's an outline. It's 2 pages, APA format, at least one reference. Okay. Then the following week, which is week 4, you have a project scope in a WBS paper. Okay. On the project scope, you can use the scope you're going to define this week and the scope you're going to have defined for the final paper. However, on here, be more thorough to what a scope is, what a scope statement is, what WBS is. Okay, and I'm going to give you a little bit more content on that next week about the scope statement, how to build the WBS, and what a scope baseline is. But long story short, what I want to emphasize here, you can use the scope that you're going to define this week, you can use it for the following week, okay? Be creative defining the scope project, whatever you feel like, but keep it in a professional setting. Talk also when you define the scope, think about possible risks, what can happen. It's 1 to 2 pages, at least 2 references. So this is week 4 about the project scope in WBS. Then on week 5, you are going to have a project example. It's a project that you've been part of. Just describe it. What was the scope? Was that a failure or a success, and why? Use your critical thinking on how that project has been managed. Again, project should be in a professional setting. It's a 1-page APA format. However, there are no references required here. I want to see your critical thinking and your understanding about how that project has been managed. Okay, this is week 5 a project example in a professional setting. Then week 7, you're going to have a PowerPoint slides of the scope defined of a project. Again, you can use the scope you have defined this week and you're going to use for the final project. So what I'm trying to say here for week 3, week 4, and week 7, and even the last project, you can use the same scope. I'm okay with that. Just avoid self-plagiarism and, go discuss on related to the topic of your project. So this is going to be 5-7 slides. What I'm expecting here to see is, what is a scope statement definition, and that's where you have a reference. Some kind of references you can find about a WBS. So long story short, make sure you reference your PowerPoint slides, and in the notes, you put talking points, bullet points. I want to see of your talking points if you were to present this presentation, okay? And then the final project is due week 8, at the end of week 8. And it's going to be 10 to 12 pages, double space APA format. And what I want here to see adding value to the outline that you put together this week, okay? Going in details on the scope, going in details on the stakeholders, going in details about what we talk about, procurement, about risks, about how you are going to go after quality, for instance, of the delivers of a project. How are you going to close the project? What will be the implications once you close it, okay? 12 to 15 slides. Again, talk to whatever you put together on the paper to your big bullet points in the notes, talking points. It's perfectly fine for what you would talk if you were to present your PowerPoint. I think that's pretty much what I wanted to tell you about this upcoming assignments. They correlate with each other, if you want to say. They are dependent on each other, especially on the scope, and I'm okay with that, okay? Don't overthink, just keep it simple, stay very organized, and I think you will get through it. And again, I will be lecturing a little bit about the scope statement, WBS, and scope baseline next week, so you can kind of have it fresh for your week 4 assignment. Other than that, keep up the great work. All of you are doing amazing. And feel free to reach out if you have any kind of questions. Have a great week. Talk to you soon. Thank you. Bye.